Instagram. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, if you are tuning in live, I want to know where you're watching this from. If you're watching a replay, I still would love to know where you're watching this from. I just pulled up to the gym. Pre-gym Proverbs. Every morning I hop on Instagram right before I start my workout. I chop it up about the proverb I read and chop it up with you guys. So today's people have been requesting me to repost these because they only stay alive on Instagram for 24 hours, I think. So I'm going to attempt to put this on an unlisted video in a public playlist on my YouTube and start maybe scaling these to YouTube just because people want to rewatch them, I guess. I guess I'm not, it's that lit. Hey, if you're just watching this, let me know where you're watching this from. Travis, what up? Good morning. Good morning. Eric, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Pre-gym Proverbs. So, Gene, good morning. Good morning. So, came out yesterday. Crazy new development. I'm sure most of you guys, Jacksonville, Florida in the house, Long Beach, West Coast, what up? I love all my West Coast early morning risers. Missouri, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So, yesterday it comes out, there is on the front page of CNN, that's the first place I saw it. It was trending on Twitter. Right now, there is a brand new, there's new evidence, a brand new sex tape from R. Kelly. Craziness, right? It sounds so terrible. Everything I've seen, the reports I've read about, I haven't seen it say, it's not public, but the reports about it sound horrible. And this looks like the smoking gun. Like, this looks like they finally caught him. They're looking like they're going to press charges, the whole bit, right? So that's all over the news. That's all over the media. And I think they're going to press charges, right, with R. Kelly. Now, why do I bring this up? Well, one, most of you guys have probably seen the R. Kelly documentary series, Surviving R. Kelly. And most of you guys have seen that. Evan, what up, buddy? I'm not taking any calls just yet. I might do that in a little bit. But people, most of you guys have saw the Surviving R. Kelly docuseries. And the most intriguing thing about it is how we kind of kept the culture, the community as a whole, kept supporting R. Kelly despite these allegations of decades long, right? And that was crazy. The fact that it's still happening is crazy. The fact that there's a new video that's coming out and they're finally, like, the Mute R. Kelly movement finally took off a couple years ago. The thing that's crazy to me is I read this proverb today, and I'm going to share it with you guys right now. I'm going to pin it. Sarah George, good morning. You're in Florida, right, Sarah George? If you're just tuning in, let me know where you're watching this from. I would love to know where you guys are at. I'm in North County, San Diego, just pulled up to the gym. So my point is this, and this is going to be convicting for some of us. I had a conversation with some friends of mine about where are the lines on, what we consume, what we endorse, what we listen to. And a lot of people, bro, any advice on how to be content and singleness? That's not what we're talking about right now. We are talking about Proverbs 15:14. Proverbs 15:14 says, a wise person is hungry for knowledge, while the fool feeds on trash. A wise person is hungry for knowledge, while the fool feeds on trash. And I think a lot of times we find ourselves feeding on trash. On a macro level, I think we've, as a culture, maybe not you guys are probably, a lot of you guys are young, but as a culture, we definitely kept feeding on R. Kelly, knowing that he was a pedophile and knowing that this stuff was happening, hearing rumors about it, not being sure. But the first time around, when I was in high school and this whole thing came out and there was a video, there's a sex tape, pretty much everybody knew at that point. Second time around, he's going to jail, but it took over 2 decades for this to come to fruition. My point, what is my point? My point is, I've never been one about secular music or whatever, sacred music. It's not about profanity and not profanity. I think an artist like John Bellion, who's super dope, he uses profanity. He's a Christian, but he makes secular music. It's not about that to me. What it is about is, are we consuming music and art and content that's glorifying evil, promoting evil, and coming from evil sources? And are we celebrating that? There's a proverb that also says, to call good evil and evil good is an abomination. 6 Cents Digital, good morning. We're talking about the R. Kelly thing. We're talking about what we consume as believers or just as people and what we endorse. And it's a really crazy time. And I was having a conversation with some people, and I just think if you're calling yourself a believer, if you're just a common sense good person, I don't understand why you would endorse or consume something that's openly evil, mocking God or the things of God, right? Calling something good that's evil or calling something evil that's good. And I think that's where I draw the line, right? That's where I personally draw the line. I did a video on this on Rapzilla's thing, and it says in Proverbs 15:14, a wise person is hungry for knowledge while the fool feeds on trash. Are we feeding on trash in the music that we listen to? Are we feeding on trash in the shows that we watch, in the movies that we watch, in the YouTube channels that we go to? Are we aimlessly escaping through the content to get some type of release or just check out? You know what I mean? And I just talked about the evil good is evil with a friend of mine who isn't into the Bible. It blew his mind when I told him where I get it from. Yeah, it's a wild time. And so again, Future recently comes out. Come to find out, Future quit doing drugs a while ago. Quit doing Percocet, quit doing Molly, quit doing lean. And because he built his brand on a Dirty Sprite model, which is Dirty Sprite is kind of like another way of saying lean, he continued personifying that in his music while he quit. And he said he was afraid to tell his fans that he quit. That is evil. That is evil. This man quit doing drugs and didn't tell people because he wanted to maintain a rapper image. So in my mind, that is just something I just can't endorse. I can't be a part of. I can't listen to any Future songs. I watched the documentary. I saw how twisted he was when he came to the things of God and calling himself a servant of God. And so it's to me, it's not about secular versus sacred. It's you and me having to critically think and process art and say, what's the source? What are they saying? Where is it coming from? Are they promoting evil and making evil sound good? And are they calling good things evil? You know what I'm saying? And are we feeding on trash? Are we feeding on trash? A wise person is hungry for knowledge, while the fool feeds on trash. So are you a wise person? Are you a wise person? Are you hungry for knowledge? Because here's the deal. People overlooked R. Kelly for decades. They said it wasn't that bad. People overlooked Future, a lot of people knowing. He said, I think on some show where he said a while ago that he had quit doing drugs. People were like, oh, he just said that because he was having a custody battle. He said a while ago, and he kept personifying this image. And so are we knowingly endorsing these things and supporting these things with our money and with our revenue, with our streams, with our attention, with our views, knowing that we're enabling and endorsing artists, that creators of content that really shouldn't be supported, especially if we're calling ourselves disciples of Jesus? And so again, it's not about sacred versus secular. It's about what are we supporting? So this R. Kelly thing is crazy. The fact that there's a new sex tape out is it was not out, but CNN has it. It's very dark and it's very twisted, but society and culture enables this. Society and culture enables this because we separate art from the artist, and you can't do that. Like, you can't separate the art from the artist. There's a new documentary of Michael Jackson coming out, right? So some of these things are alleged, but some of these things, like, bro, when there's multiple tapes out, like, you should stop. But to me, I would push back and say, well, where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line? People are so quick to mute R. Kelly, but Future is still okay and a part of the culture. How many kids tried Percocets and Molly because of that Mask Off song? You know what I'm saying? Like, how many kids tried lean because of Dirty Sprite? But we still think it's okay to listen to. And I'm talking Christians. Like, I see Christians post Future on their Insta stories, like friends of mine. You know what I'm saying? That, like, I haven't really had the time to unpack, like, the motivation behind that. But I'm like, why? Like, why would you even share that, like that you're listening to that. I didn't listen to his Wizard album. I watched the documentary and I was like, oh, he's pretty far gone. Like, he thinks he's a servant of God, according to the documentary. Craziness, right? That's insane to me. So, a wise person is hungry for knowledge while the fool feeds on trash. Proverbs 15:14. If you're just tuning in, let me know where you're watching this from. We're doing a little bit of pre-gym Proverbs. And so, are you feeding on trash? Because if you're feeding yourself on trash, according to Proverbs, that's what fools do. And I don't think you want to be a fool, right? But a wise person is hungry for knowledge. Are you hungry for knowledge? Are you hungry for the things of God? Are you hungry for living life well? Proverbs, wisdom says that wisdom is a description of wisdom. How you can describe wisdom is the art of living life well. And so I listen to, guys like John Bellion, who, he's not a Christian artist. He even has some profanity in his music. A lot of people in the Christian community do. It's not the same because the overall personification of his music isn't making evil look good and good look evil. Sometimes I listen to music for the instrumental, so basically I'm listening to the producers more than the artists. That's still wrong. Listen, I'm not going to tell you what wrong is or isn't. I'm going to tell you, for me, I don't rock with Future. I don't listen to R. Kelly. I don't listen to stuff that is openly mocking things that are good, and at the same time taking things that are evil and making them look good. Lancaster, this is a good word. I think I should share some of this with the youngsters at work. What's good, my friend? What up? Yeah, definitely like share that proverb 15:14. That's the NLT translation. A wise person is hungry for knowledge while the fool feeds on trash. Who listened to that music? Which music? There's a lot of people in the church that was listening to R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? That's just the easiest one I could talk about right now, because there's a new sex tape that just came out yesterday. CNN was covering it. It's all over Twitter. I can't listen to that stuff. I come from the world. Worldly rap is the new crack of the 80s. Sounds insane, but really think about it. Yeah, and so like I don't, even those phrases like worldly rap, like I don't even know what that means. Like, I listen to John Bellion. John Bellion doesn't make Christian music, but I listen to him. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Christians or people who consume music that promotes evil and celebrates evil and makes evil look good. This is a proverb that says, calling evil good and good evil is an abomination. I agree with everything you're saying. I have listened to secular music, but I have digressed from it and dived more into Christian hip-hop. It's not a right or wrong. It's about what the music is endorsing. That's right. It's not about secular versus sacred. It's not about worldly. It's about what is the music, and not just the music, because a lot of y'all get super legalistic, or y'all are on the other side and you're like, hip-hop is evil, the truth about hip-hop. You're listening to them stupid G. Craig Lewis tapes, you know what I'm saying? Like, and hyper conspiracy, hyper Illuminati junk, which is just whack. You listen to that stuff and you think that's what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. That dude is off. That's the opposite extreme. But while you're listening to that, you are also watching YouTube content that you shouldn't be watching. You're looking at Instagram and following Instagram people that you shouldn't be following. You're consuming stuff that video games that are violent, and then you're sitting here talking about how hip hop is evil, while all along you're inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? All along you're inconsistent in other areas. And so it's not about, is rap evil, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what I'm talking about. What is the message and how does it affect you? What's it about? Yeah, that's exactly it. So a wise person is hungry for knowledge while the fool feeds on trash. A wise person is hungry for knowledge while the fool feeds on trash. And guess what? If you're feeding on trash, regardless of if you're consuming music, watching YouTube videos, TV shows, whatever it is, because we're not just going to, chop it down to just rap, because I don't like when people demonize hip-hop. I listen to this dude, Ruslan. Yeah, thank you, bro. I appreciate it. I'm on that Aha Gazelle. Aha's dope. It's not just about what you're listening to musically. It's about holistically, what are you consuming, and are you feeding your soul on trash? A wise person is hungry for knowledge. And here's the deal. It's interesting that when you're hungry for knowledge, that is how you grow in wisdom. And the more you grow in wisdom, you grow in peace and prosperity, and you grow in a different mentality, and you grow into a maturity that creates a lens on how you view the world that'll help you in your singleness. Somebody brought that up earlier. That'll help you in these different areas, because if you're feeding on trash, odds are it's going to have your spirit feeling off. Odds are you're not going to feel good. Just like if you were eating just junk food, it's going to have you feeling away. Right? It's going to have you feeling away. It's going to have you feeling off, you know. I'm waiting on that Paul Russell to drop. Me too, man. I got like one song left to mix, and then we're going to drop it very soon here. I'm beyond excited for the Paul Russell album. Super dope. So anyway, that's the proverb 15:14. A wise person is hungry for knowledge, while the fool feeds on trash. By the renewing and transforming of your mind. Yeah, amen. Romans. So, are you wise? Are you hungry for knowledge? Are you consuming music, books, podcasts, YouTube videos that are positioning you to be wise? Or are you feeding on trash? Are you feeding on junk? If you're feeding on trash, according to Proverbs 15:14, it says that that's what fools do. And so, in light of everything that's happening in culture, in light of the new R. Kelly thing, there's a new tape apparently, in light of everything that's coming out, the future lying about doing drugs for, years, promoting drug use while not doing drugs. What are you endorsing with your streams? What are you endorsing with your eyeballs? What are you endorsing just as a consumer? You know what I'm saying? Our spiritual health is very similar to our physical health. Consume junk or healthy things. Amen. Amen. It is. It is. Absolutely. And that's not to say that like you can't have like a guilty pleasure occasionally. Like yesterday was Valentine's Day. We went out to eat. I ate pretty healthy the entire day. My wife made brownies. I had some brownies last night. I'm about to pay for it. I don't normally eat brownies, right? Homemade brownies. And so I ate some brownies. I'm gonna pay for it right now. It's affecting me right now. I can feel it in my stomach. You know what I'm talking about? I can feel it. It's a guilty pleasure. I could have brownies occasionally, right? I've evolved. My body's, gotten to a certain place where I could eat that occasionally, right? But there was once a time where we had brownies every single week, or twice a week we'd make brownies, and we weren't very healthy. You know what I'm saying? And so it's the same way. Like there are certain guilty pleasures that we have. I have a donut once a week. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not eating donuts every day. I'm not eating brownies every day. Right? And so, and I definitely wouldn't get brownies from McDonald's. Like McDonald's is the epitome of everything that's wrong with the health industry, the food industry, everything that's wrong, from their supply chain to everything. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain things I just won't endorse, and there's certain things I just can't endorse. And I'll be honest, like R. Kelly, the docuseries, I was like, oh man, like I want to go back and listen to some of them old songs. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, if I do that, I'm just getting his streams up, and I'm just enabling the entire system. When I saw the Wizard documentary by Future and Apple Music, I was like, oh man, I want to go and, you know what I'm saying, check out that new Wizard album. But I didn't, because I knew I would be endorsing and supporting that. So your attention, your streams, your views, those things matter, yo. Those things matter. You guys have power as a consumer. It's not just about boycotting Gucci and being upset that Gucci did some racist stuff, which they did. It's about, what are you doing as a consumer? You know what I'm saying? Epitome of everything that is wrong. McDonald's. Yeah, it is. It is the epitome of everything that's wrong with food. It's the epitome of everything that's wrong with food. And to me, I think, not to be super reckless with it, but I think Future, a dude that's been drug-free, who's a father and a business person, an entrepreneur, who quit doing drugs but still continues to personify doing drugs, or continued to personify doing drugs. I don't know if he's talking about doing drugs on the Wizard album, but he kept talking about doing lean after he quit doing lean. That is the epitome. That is the epitome of everything that's wrong with hip-hop. That mentality that we're gonna lie to you, we're gonna fake the funk, we're gonna act like we're more ratchet than we really are. That is the epitome of everything that's wrong with hip-hop. You know what I mean? In my opinion. It's all just my opinion, by the way. A wise person is hungry for knowledge, while the fool feeds on trash. That's not my opinion. That's Proverbs 15:14. So anyway, appreciate you guys, man. I'm going to try and get this up on YouTube if you guys want to go back and watch it. And but those McDonald's fries are amazing, though. Yeah, man, and that Future Mask Off song is amazing. You were completely right. And there's some amazing R. Kelly songs. There are some amazing. R. Kelly did a whole gospel album that was incredible called "You Save Me." You know what I'm saying? It's really good. Really, really good. It doesn't mean that I'm going to ever listen to it ever again. Said he felt he had to keep that persona, but what if he told people he didn't do drugs? He could affect kids. That's right. Do you think by listening, watching, or engaging in a certain thing makes us in agreement with it? Yeah, you're endorsing it. You're endorsing it. You're creating revenue for it. You are. You know what I'm saying? You're creating revenue for it, whether you want to or not. So, let you guys go, man. Thank you guys so much. We're going to put this on YouTube later today. It'll be unlisted, but there'll be a playlist. So, all right, y'all. Peace.